Good morning. It is a nice, hot, humid morning here in May in Central Texas, and I thought I'd do a quick little shop tour this morning. I had a few questions the other day on some photos that I posted about how my shop is laid out and where I'm working. So right now, I'm in a corner of the shop. The shop itself is a 40 by 50 building, and there's some future plans and projects over there that I haven't gotten to yet. But primarily where I'm working right now is here. Inside that room is another portion of the shop for another work area. But let me just kind of go over my layout right now, how things are. So for metalworking, all my consumables and clamps are right here. I've got a few chemicals I use that I put some shelving up to keep that out of the way. This is my primary TIG welder. I have an Eastside Rebel 205. I also have it set up with some self-shielded flux core in there so I can take it mobile and do a little bit of MIG welding if I need to. That is Elvira, shop cat. She's crazy and mean as hell to boot. This area right here, I've just kind of reorganized this and added this storage cabinet. I just needed something over here to work on and have a secondary space. I had this table. This was kind of my original welding table I built. It's a 3 foot by 4 foot. It's going to go outside. I'll show you that spot in a minute. And right here on the table are my fixture clamps for the table that's behind me. I made all of these. I'll put a link in the description below about the fixture clamps, how to make some of those super cheap. Yes, I do use Milwaukee tools. I am pretty much a believer in staying with the same battery platform. And while I say that, I have two brands over here. I found a little router that Bosch makes. It's a great little handheld router for small trim work that's just handy as can be, but can't find anything like that with Milwaukee, so I do have some off-brand stuff compared to my main brand that I use. Another set of workbenches and storage cabinets. I've had those for forever. Finally kind of getting settled in over here. Had some extra cleats left over from my big French cleat wall project, so I started actually making some shop fixtures to be able to hang up all of my tools over there. Storage in here, primarily welding consumables and so forth. Some coupons, filler rod, wire, all of that. Grinder. It's a pretty cheap little Ryobi, but man, it's great just for taking the edge off of finishing up pieces of metal. That's going to be my Oxyfuel line for my welding trailer when I have that up and running. My primary MIG welder is a Miller-Matic 255. I really only do MIG wire with C25 gas. I also am set up to be able to do dual shield on that one. Oxyfuel setup, yes, they are chained and secured. And I'm going to add a pull-down retractable hose reel, a little bit easier to get to. Pipe clamps, some corner clamps, and storage for my hoods. And over here, this little stick welder, little Everlast 210 STL. That little welder actually is one of the cleanest little welds I've ever seen. Lays down some great little beads. I'll put a link to it as well in the description. And this little plasma cutter here, not the strongest in the world, but for less than about $350, you can get some pretty clean cuts out of this. It's only a 50 amp, but it does a good job. There's my grinders, the grinder stand I made. Again, another video that I created, I'll put that down in the description. I did add some casters to it because I wind up moving this around the shop all the time, and it's just a lot easier to move with casters. And then out here, this is going to be an expansion area. There's my Trailblazer that goes in my truck at some point. Just had this slab poured. This is going to be kind of a covered but not completely enclosed metalworking area to do heavier cutting and grinding. I'm going to put a wall up along the back, wall up along that end, put a roof over it, and leave this side open to be able to get in. And like I said, I've got a 4 foot by 8 foot table over here, as well as this 3 foot by 4 foot to be able to do some bigger setups and things like that out there. And then finally, right in the middle of it all is my main fixture table. I got it from Weld Tables, and it is 4 feet square. They'll pretty much make it whatever size you want. I picked a 4 foot cube, if you will, and then I added on the wing here I chose to go with every other hole threaded, so you can tell on the tabletop itself it's every other hole. The wing, which is standard, is every hole is just a fixture clamp, 5/8 inch clamp hole. Honestly, I wouldn't do that again. I paid more for that, and I don't hardly use the threaded holes at all. These tables are great. I love the fixturing option to be able to use that. But as far as being able to bolt anything down, I really never use it. So anything I've listed in this video or show you tools, I am not sponsored by anybody. Everything you see was paid for out of my own pocket. I do have an Amazon store, and I'm going to put some links down below in the description of some of the tools that I've bought off Amazon. If you're interested in anything else, give me a comment below. I'll link it. If you buy it through my Amazon link, I do get a little something back off that. It helps to keep my channel going and lets me buy some materials to make some of the demonstration stuff that I'm starting to do a little bit more of. But outside of that, if you like it, I'd love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and leave me any comments or questions about anything you see in this video. Thanks, and have a good day.